Thank you, Blake, and welcome everybody. What a wonderful day to be at the Mississippi Agriculture and Forestry Museum, and what a great way to kick off the day here than with our Commissioner of Agriculture, Lester Spell. He was elected to the office in 1995, and since that time has really worked hard to streamline what the office does, and has done a wonderful job as they are now running so much more efficient with so fewer people. And today there are over 1,000 companies that have taken part in the Make Mine Mississippi program that he started in 1999. Would y'all please welcome Agriculture Commissioner Lester Spell.
Thank you. Thank you, and thank you for being here, and my thanks for hosting this great event. I appreciate that introduction, Scott. You know, we always welcome visitors out here at the Ag Museum, and it's quite an honor for you to come out here every year and for us to serve as a host site for this great event to kind of find out what's going on in Mississippi business and Mississippi politics. So if you have a few minutes today, we'd invite you to tour the grounds here and see some of the artifacts, some of the buildings that we have, some of the exhibits that really display the importance of forestry and agriculture has in the state of Mississippi. You know, from this podium, with next year being election year, you'll probably hear some things that are pretty well embellished. Well, let me brag on a few things. We've just set a new world record at the Mississippi State Fair. We had 673,000 people come to the State Fair, and that's a world record for us at the Mississippi State Fair. We appreciate the great support. You know, one of the most popular things at the State Fair every year are those biscuits made from scratch. And we served over 102,000 biscuits. Somebody said, how in the world do you make that many biscuits? Well, you start off with 7,000 pounds of flour, 700 pounds of lard, and 535 gallons of buttermilk, and then you work mighty hard to make those biscuits. But it's a real joy for the Department of Agriculture to partner with some of our friends like Kroger and Blackburn Syrup in order to give that to the people of Mississippi when they come to the State Fair. It was a great fair, not only fun festivities and good food, but so many of our young people, 4-H and FFA, come to the State Fair, as well as the Dixie National, show livestock. It's a great opportunity for them. And I want to say a special thanks to Mr. Billy Orr, who's our general manager on the fairgrounds. Billy does a wonderful job for us down there. And you know, one of the unique things about the state fairgrounds, we don't get a nickel of state money to run the state fairgrounds. All the operation maintenance money we have to make by running it like a business, renting out those facilities. And our folks do a wonderful job, and I'm so proud of what they're doing. Now, in today's economic times, there's much gloom about where we are and where we're going, but let me bring you some good news from agriculture. All across this great land of ours this year has been a very bountiful year for agriculture. Estimates are that the net cash income to farmers this year will be up 23% to over $80 billion. That's the second highest income in farm sales in the history of agriculture. And Mississippi is going to have a great year this year, too. You know, last year we had devastating rains beginning in August all the way through harvest season. But this year we're going to see the profits go up for Mississippi farmers, and we're glad for that. We've got a lot to be proud of in Mississippi because agriculture and forestry brings in about $6.5 billion to state every year. And economists tell us that money turns over some 4 or 5 times in our state economy. So when agriculture does good, Mississippi has a better year from an economic standpoint. And we're proud of what Mississippi does. And we've got a lot of things that are on the threshold of fixing to happen in agriculture in our state. The governor has announced the building of 3 new plants to use forestry products to make fuels. And that's good news in our state. 2 weeks ago, 3 businessmen from Scandinavian country came to my office, and we had invited a representative from the governor's office, MDA, to sit down and talk with these people. And they are interested in the state of Mississippi for the simple reason that they need a solid source of fuel for their country to protect them from the rising cost of energy, and they're looking at investing right here in Mississippi. And we see a lot of other interesting things happening. One of the largest family-owned vegetable operations on the East Coast, the Rawls Company, has partnered with some good Mississippi farmers up in the Indianola area. And what was a 4-week harvest time for sweet corn operation up there is now going to turn into 11, maybe 12-month full-time operation of vegetables right here in the state of Mississippi. We're excited about that. We've had phenomenal growth in new farmers markets all across the state. And in the last year and a half, we've had about 600 people come to meetings for farmers to learn how to grow and market at local farmers market. So we're proud of those changes that have taken place and the progress. A sweet potato industry in Mississippi. If you know where Vardaman, Mississippi is, you know that's really the home of sweet potatoes. Some of our sweet potato growers have been meeting with officials from USDA. And USDA sets the food nutritional guidelines for all the food that's served in our school lunchrooms. And working with our sweet potato growers, they said, we're going to reduce things like French fries, things that are high in fats, and we're looking for other foods. And in particular, we're looking at sweet potatoes and some of the products that can be made for sweet potatoes. So we see brand new markets there, and we're excited about that. Agritourism, where people go out to the farm, take their young children, visit the farm. We just did a pumpkin picking trips here at the Ag Museum, and we had close to 6,000 young people from all across the state come here, from 3 to 8 years old, and they learn about agriculture. And many farmers are realizing that we can capitalize on tourism as additional income in the state of Mississippi. So we're proud of where we are in agriculture and the progress we've made over the last few years. Let me touch just for a minute or two on our minds begin to turn to legislative session and what's going to happen. We've already been through with the Department of Agriculture what a lot of other state agencies are going through. When I came in office in 1996, the Department of Agriculture was running in the red. We reduced our overall personnel by over 30%, and we've kept that number down. But anywhere you can measure output and productivity, it's up 20%. We reduced our dependence on state funds from 74% down to 60% by developing new ways to get grants to actually pass on the cost for those private type industries that we provide a service to help support them. And that has reduced your cost to the Department of Agriculture and Commerce. Over the last 15 years, and no other state agency can say this, our budget has only increased 7%. We've taken on new responsibilities, but with the capabilities that we have in state government of cross-training people to do more than one job, the new technology we have, computers, I think there's still more that we can do in state government to economize and save the taxpayer's dollar. I applaud what the governor's doing, his efforts to combine and streamline state government. He's often used the Department of Agriculture as a poster child of how we can be more efficient in state government. And my hope is that during the coming session, the legislature will continue to look at some of these areas where we can save money and economize. But you need to understand before we do anything like that, if that moves forward, you've got to give state agency heads the flexibility to come out from under the personnel board for at least a year to reorganize their department. Just as you and your business have that flexibility to reorganize, state government can't continue to function efficiently and effectively in an economic manner without greater flexibility than we have today. I want to thank you again for the opportunity to be here, and thank you most of all for giving me the great privilege to serve as your Commissioner of Agriculture and Commerce. God bless you, and God bless Mississippi.